Sienna Reed watches the baby monitor until the green light stops flickering. Lucas finally sleeps. Outside, the New York suburbs sit under winter fog. The house is so still that the refrigerator hum feels loud. Sienna turns off the living room light and heads for the hallway. She is barefoot, hair twisted into a loose knot, wearing an old sweatshirt. A quiet life is what she bought with 5 years of loneliness. The first bang hits the front door like a fist. Then another. A man's voice cuts through the night. Sienna Reed. Open the door. Her stomach drops. She knows that voice the way a scar knows the blade. No. She whispers and presses a hand to the wall. The house feels smaller, like it is shrinking around her. The door shudders under a brutal kick. The deadbolt groans. Mom. Lucas murmurs from the bedroom. Sienna forces her feet to move. She rushes into Lucas's room and kneels by his bed. Hey, baby. Stay in bed. Stay quiet, okay? Lucas rubs his eyes. Is it thunder? Just wind. She lies and kisses his forehead. She turns the night light a little brighter. The next crash splits the frame. The door swings in. Heavy footsteps flood the entry. Men in black move like they own the air. And behind them walks Keller Lockwood. 6'2", coat dark, eyes colder. A man built out of money and decisions. Sienna steps into the hallway and blocks Lucas's door with her body. Keller, what are you doing here? Keller's gaze slides past her like she is furniture. You are coming with me. No, get out of my house. His jaw tightens. Ella Finch is crashing. She needs our H-negative blood. You have it. Sienna tastes metal. It feels like the world tilts. That is not my problem. It is when I say it is. Keller nods once. One of the guards steps forward. Sienna lifts both hands, palms out. This is insane. Donors have to agree. You cannot do this. I can. Keller says. Either you walk, or they carry you. Her lungs burn. My son is here. I cannot leave him. Keller's eyes flick to the door behind her. For a fraction of a second, something in his expression shifts. Then it hardens again. He will be fine. Keller says. We are not here to discuss your feelings. Do not talk about my feelings. Sienna snaps. You broke them 5 years ago. Keller does not flinch. Move. Sienna's heart hammers. If she screams, Lucas wakes. If Lucas wakes, he sees men dragging his mother away. She makes a choice that tastes like ashes. Give me 1 minute. She says. I need shoes. 30 seconds. Keller replies. Sienna slips into Lucas's room and pulls a chair against the door. She grabs her phone and types with shaking thumbs. Elias, help. Keller is here. Men. Taking me. She sends it. Then she kneels at Lucas's bedside. Lucas, listen to me. If I am not back before you wake up, go to Mrs. Dalton next door. Lucas frowns. Why? Sienna swallows. Because I said so, okay? He nods, half asleep. A hand slams on the door. Time. Sienna stands. She opens the bedroom door. Keller is waiting. The guards take her arms. She jerks away, but they are trained and calm. Keller, she says. You cannot treat me like this. You should have stayed out of my life. He answers. Sienna laughs once, sharp and broken. I did. You hunted me down anyway. They pull her into the night. Cold air bites her cheeks. A black SUV waits at the curb. She twists, fighting. Let go. A guard presses her down and shoves her inside. The door slams. Keller gets in across from her. The interior smells like leather and power. Sienna stares at him. For her, you will do anything. Keller's eyes do not blink. For her, I will do what I must. Sienna's voice cracks. I once thought you loved me. You thought wrong. He says. The SUV surges forward. Through the rear window, her porch light becomes a small dot. In the hospital, bright lights burn her eyes. A nurse looks uncertain when she sees the guards. Keller signs papers with steady hands. She has to consent. The nurse says. Keller's stare makes the room colder. She consents. Sienna tries to speak, but her throat closes. A needle slides into her arm. Her blood begins to flow. She watches the red line fill the bag. It feels like her body is being emptied of something bigger than blood. Keller stands by the glass, watching the bag, not her. Sienna turns her face away. A tear slips down her cheek. This is the last thing you ever take from me. She whispers. Sienna wakes on her couch at dawn. Her arm aches. Her throat is dry. The house smells like stale coffee. A blanket covers her, one she does not remember grabbing. She sits up too fast and the room spins. Her vision narrows. Mom. Lucas runs in, pajamas rumpled. He throws his arms around her. Sienna clutches him, breathing him in like oxygen. Hey, I am here. Lucas pulls back and studies her face. You look sick. Just tired, she says. Come here. He climbs onto the couch and tucks himself under her arm. Did the wind stop? Sienna almost laughs. Yeah, the wind stopped. Her phone buzzes. Elias Thorpe. She answers with shaking fingers. Elias. Sienna. Elias says, voice tight. Where are you? Home. He brought me back. Elias breathes out, furious. I am coming. Do not open the door for anyone. He already broke the door, she says. There is a silence. Then Elias swears under his breath. I will handle repairs. Focus on you and Lucas. Sienna looks at Lucas. His small hand rests on her wrist, right over the spot the needle went in. Focus on us. She repeats. Her voice steadies. For 3 days she does not leave the house. Elias sends meals. Mrs. Dalton watches Lucas for an hour at a time so Sienna can sleep. On the 4th day, Elias shows up with a contractor and a bag of groceries. He looks expensive in a casual way, scarf tossed around his neck. The founder of a fashion empire who still remembers being hungry. He hugs Lucas first. Hey, buddy, you taking care of your mom? Lucas nods solemnly. I brought her water. Good man. Elias says. Then he turns to Sienna. His eyes sharpen. Tell me everything. Sienna tells him. The door, the guards, the needle, Keller's face. Elias listens without interrupting. When she finishes, he sets his jaw. He has always been a control freak, but this is a new low. He did it for Ella. Sienna says. It is always Ella. Elias's mouth twists. Ella Finch is poison with a smile. Sienna looks down. Her fingers are still bruised where the guards gripped her. He will come back. Let him. Elias replies. This time he meets me, and he meets a lawyer. Sienna shakes her head. He has money. He bends rules until they break. Then we stop playing by his rules. Elias says. That night, across the city, Keller sits in a private hospital wing. Ella lies pale in a bed surrounded by machines. Her lashes flutter like she is made of fragile paper. Keller. She murmurs. You saved me. Keller holds her hand. Rest. The doctor pulls Keller aside. Her condition is unstable. She may crash again. We need more Rh-negative blood on standby. Keller's eyes narrow. Find it. We have searched every registry we can access. The doctor admits. The probability is extremely low. Keller's jaw locks. Then expand the search. His assistant, Mark, waits in the corridor with a tablet. Sir, I found something. Keller takes the tablet. A preschool health report. Name Lucas Reed. Blood type Rh-negative. Keller stares. His mind tries to reject it. Then it does the math anyway. Lucas is 5. 5 years. Keller's throat tightens. He scrolls to the photo. A boy with dark hair, steady eyes, a small stubborn mouth. He looks like Keller did at that age. Mark watches Keller's face. Sir? Keller keeps staring at the photo. Where did you get this? A contact at the preschool sent records. We were searching for blood donors. I did not expect a child. Keller's hand clenches around the tablet. A thought rises, brutal and impossible. Sienna left without a word. She disappeared. Then she shows up with a son. Keller hears his own voice, low and rough. Get a sample. Mark hesitates. From the child. Quietly. Keller says. Hair, anything. Mark nods. Yes, sir. Keller walks back toward Ella's room. He pauses at the door. Inside, Ella smiles at him, trusting. Something in his chest feels wrong. It is not guilt yet. Not remorse. It is doubt. Across town, Sienna sits at her kitchen table with Elias. Lucas colors at the counter. Elias taps a folder. I pulled your old contracts. Your name still has weight in fashion. You do not have to hide. Sienna looks up. I cannot build a studio while Keller is sniffing around. You can. Elias says. If we move smart. Sienna hears Lucas humming. She thinks of the SUV, the needle, Keller's cold eyes. A quiet line forms in her mind. If Keller wants blood, he will take it. If Keller wants Lucas, he will take him too. Sienna straightens. Then I get stronger first. Elias smiles, sharp and proud. That is the Sienna I know. Keller does not sleep. He watches markets open, watches Ella's numbers on a monitor, watches his own thoughts spiral. Mark returns 2 days later with a sealed envelope. Hair from Lucas Reed's brush. No one noticed. Keller takes it. His fingers tremble once. He hates that. Run the test. Keller says. Fast. Quiet. While the lab works, Keller digs. He pulls up old photos, old messages, old fights. He remembers Sienna in his penthouse, barefoot, laughing at his tie. He remembers her crying the night he accused her. "You are with me for my money," he had said. "Keller, you know me." She had begged. He had shoved a folder at her, bank transfers, a staged photo, a shadowy man with his arm around her. Ella stood beside him then, eyes wet. "I did not want to believe it either," she had whispered. Keller's jaw clenches. He remembers how easy it was to believe Ella. How simple it felt. Because Ella was his first love. Because Sienna was new. Because he was arrogant enough to think he could not be fooled. The lab calls at noon. Keller takes the call in his office, doors locked. "Mr. Lockwood," the tech says. "The probability of paternity is 99.99%. Keller's vision blurs. His hand grips the desk. "Say it again," he orders. "Lucas Reed is your biological son." The world shifts. Keller feels it in his bones. He ends the call. He stands there with the phone in his hand, staring at nothing. A child. His child. And he dragged that child's mother into a hospital like a criminal. Keller moves without thinking. He storms to the private wing. Ella is awake, sipping water, cheeks faintly pink. "Keller," she says softly. "You look stressed." He throws the report onto her blanket. "Explain." Ella blinks. "What is this?" "Read it." She does. Her face drains. "Keller," she whispers. "This is not." "Not what?" Keller's voice rises. "Not my son, not my blood." Ella's hand shakes. "You are scaring me." "Good," Keller says. "Now tell me the truth." Ella swallows hard. "You are tired. You are under pressure." Keller leans closer. 5 years ago. The evidence you showed me. The transfers. The photo." Ella's eyes dart away. Keller's voice drops, lethal. "Was it real?" Silence. Keller slams his palm on the bed rail. The machines beep faster. "Answer me." Ella flinches. Tears gather. "I did it because I loved you," she says. "I did it because she was taking you away from me." Keller freezes. The confession lands like a punch. Ella sobs. "I thought if you two broke up, you would come back to me. I did not think she would get pregnant." Keller's breath turns ragged. "You knew." Ella looks down. "I suspected." Keller's eyes burn. "And you let me take her blood anyway." Ella whispers, desperate. "I was dying. I did not want to die." Keller steps back. Disgust crawls up his throat. "You used me," he says. "You used her." "Keller, please." Ella pleads. "Do not leave me." Keller turns away. "You should have let me leave you a long time ago." He walks out. The hallway is too bright. He feels like everyone can see the filth on him. In the elevator, Keller stares at his reflection. A man in a tailored suit. A monster in a clean shell. He drives to Sienna's town in the late afternoon. The sky is bruised purple. He parks at the curb and just sits. He can picture the night he kicked in her door. The fear in her eyes. He gets out. He steps onto the porch. The new door is solid, unscarred. He reaches for the bell. The door opens before he touches it. Elias stands there. "No." Elias says. "You do not get to step inside." Keller's throat tightens. "I need to speak to Sienna." Elias crosses his arms. "You need to leave." Keller forces the words out. "Lucas is mine." Elias does not blink. "Prove it in court." Keller's eyes flash. "Do not use that word like it scares me." "It should." Elias replies. "Because this time, you are the one with something to lose." Keller hears small footsteps. Lucas appears behind Elias, holding a toy truck. He stares at Keller with wide, calm eyes. Keller's chest splits open. "Lucas," he says. Lucas tilts his head. "Who are you?" Keller swallows. "I am." Sienna appears behind Lucas. She looks stronger than Keller remembers. Not softer, stronger. "Do not say it," she tells Keller. Her voice is quiet, but it carries. Not in front of him. Keller's eyes lock on hers. "Sienna, I did not know." Sienna laughs, cold. "You did not want to know." "I was lied to," Keller says. "So was I." Sienna answers. "The difference is, I paid the price." Keller steps forward. Elias blocks him. Keller's voice breaks. "I am sorry." Sienna's expression does not change. "Sorry does not put blood back in my veins." Keller looks at Lucas. The boy watches silently, fingers on the toy. Keller whispers. "I will fix this." Sienna's gaze turns sharp. "You will not fix anything." She reaches down and takes Lucas's hand. "Go wash up, baby. Lucas nods and disappears. Sienna faces Keller again. You came here for forgiveness. For a chance. Keller says. For my son. Sienna steps closer, just enough that Keller can see the steady fury in her eyes. You want a chance? Then listen. I will protect Lucas with everything I have. And everything you take from us, I will take back from you. Keller's throat tightens. Sienna. Go, she says. The door closes. Keller stands on the porch in the cold. For the first time in years, power does not help, only regret. 2 weeks later, Sienna steps onto a runway backstage in Manhattan. Cameras flash. Music thumps through the floor. She wears black, not because it makes her look thin, but because it feels like armor. Elias stands beside her. You ready? Sienna nods. I have been ready for 5 years. The show begins. Models move like blades. Sienna's designs hit the crowd with clean lines and sharp confidence. She watches from the side. When the applause rises, she feels something unclench in her chest. After the finale, investors crowd her. Editors pull out phones. A reporter asks, Sienna Reed, is this your comeback? Sienna smiles. This is not a comeback. This is a beginning. Outside the venue, Keller waits. He looks wrong in the chaos. Too controlled. Too still. Sienna spots him and keeps walking. Elias places a hand on her elbow. Want me to get rid of him? No. Sienna says. Let him watch. Keller steps into her path. You are doing well. He says, voice rough. Sienna looks at him like she is studying a stranger. What do you want, Keller? He swallows. I want to make amends. Amends. She repeats. Is that what you call breaking into my house and forcing me to bleed? Keller flinches. I was wrong. You were cruel. Sienna corrects. Keller's eyes shine with something close to desperation. I can give you anything. Shares. Money. A trust for Lucas. Sienna's mouth curves. It is not a smile. You still do not understand. Keller steps closer. Tell me. Sienna lifts her chin. You think you can buy forgiveness the way you buy silence. But I am not for sale. Keller's voice cracks. He is my son. Sienna's gaze turns hard. He is my life. Keller looks like he wants to argue. Then his eyes drop. Let me see him. Sienna shakes her head. You do not get access to him because you feel guilty. I am not just guilty. Keller says. I am his father. You were not his father when he had a fever at 3 in the morning. Sienna replies. You were not his father when he asked why other kids had dads at pickup. Keller's breath stutters. Sienna steps in, voice low. You want the truth. When you forced me into that hospital, something inside me died. Not just love, trust, hope. The part that believed you were human. Keller whispers. I am human now. Sienna laughs. No, you are just afraid now. She turns away. Keller grabs her wrist. Elias immediately steps forward. Touch her again, and I will break your hand. He says. Keller releases her. His eyes stay on Sienna. What do you want? Sienna rubs her wrist once. I want you to feel what I felt. How? Keller asks. Sienna's eyes hold his. Helpless. Exposed. At the mercy of someone who does not care. Keller's face pales. Sienna turns and walks toward her car. Elias follows. Sienna. Keller calls. Please. She does not look back. Do not beg me. She says. Beg your conscience. That night, in Elias's office, Sienna sits with a team of advisors. Screens show financial charts, market share, contracts. Elias points at a graph. Lockwood Group has a fashion subsidiary. It is small compared to their finance arm, but it feeds their brand image. Sienna leans forward. We hit the image. We hit the story. Her lawyer, Dana, nods. You have evidence of coercion. Sienna slides a phone across the table. A guard thought I did not know he was recording. I got the clip later. Dana plays the audio. Keller's voice, cold. She consents. The room goes silent. Dana exhales. This is ugly. Sienna's eyes do not blink. Good. Elias taps another folder. And this is a list of Lockwood's competitors. There is one who hates him enough to help. Sienna reads the name. Marcus Hale. A rival banker with a smile like a knife. Sienna sets the folder down. Set a meeting. Elias watches her. Are you sure? Sienna thinks of Lucas asleep at home. She thinks of the needle. She thinks of Keller's face when he learned the truth. I am sure, she says. He drew first blood. 2 days later, Sienna sits across from Marcus Hale in a private lounge. He is charming, too polished. Sienna Reed. Marcus says. I heard you came back from the dead. Sienna smiles. I heard you want Keller Lockwood to choke on his own ego. Marcus laughs. And you want him to bleed. Metaphorically. Sienna says. Marcus raises a glass. Then we want the same thing. Sienna does not drink. I want results. Marcus leans in. You give me product. I give you distribution. We crush his fashion arm. Sienna nods. And I give you something else. Marcus's eyes sharpen. What? Sienna slides a sealed envelope across the table. A story. Marcus opens it and reads. His smile fades. This will destroy him. Sienna's voice stays calm. It will show the world who he is. Marcus looks up. And if he comes after you? Sienna thinks of Elias, of lawyers, of cameras, of plans. Let him, she says. This time, he is the one who will be watched. The first headline drops on a Monday morning. Lockwood CEO accused of forcing ex-girlfriend to donate rare blood by noon. Every screen in Manhattan plays the clip. Keller's voice, cold, certain. She consents. Keller walks into his board meeting and sees faces he has never feared. Today they look hungry. This is a hit piece. Keller says. A director slides a phone toward him. Then why is it your voice? Keller's jaw tightens. Because I said words in a medical setting. You broke into her home. Another director says. There are police reports now. Keller's eyes narrow. She filed. Not yet. Mark says quietly. But the footage is enough to trigger investigations. Keller's hands curl. He knows exactly who released it. Sienna. He leaves the meeting early. His phone buzzes nonstop. Partners cancel lunches. A senator's staffer declines a donation. Outside, reporters shout. Mr. Lockwood, did you force her? Is the child yours? Keller pushes through them. He gets into his car and drives. He ends up outside Sienna's studio. He hates himself for it. Inside, Sienna is working with a model. She looks up when Keller walks in. Her expression does not change. You should not be here, she says. Keller's voice is raw. You did this. Sienna sets down a pin. I told you I would take back everything you took from me. You are destroying my company. Keller says. No. Sienna replies. I am showing the world what you did. Keller's eyes burn. Ella is dying. Sienna pauses. For the first time, something flickers. Not pity. Not softness. Just a quiet, tired disgust. Ella chose her path. She says. So did you. Keller steps closer. What do you want? I want safety. Sienna says. I want Lucas to sleep without fear of footsteps. I want you to stop reaching into my life like you own it. Keller's voice cracks. Let me be a father. Sienna's eyes narrow. A father does not show up with guards. Keller flinches. I will do it right. You cannot undo what you did. Sienna answers. She lifts her chin. But you can sign a legal agreement. No contact unless I allow it. No private investigators. No threats. And if you break it, I press charges and I bury you. Keller stares. It is the first time he sees her as an equal. Maybe stronger. Fine. He says. Write it. Sienna nods. Dana will send it. Keller leaves. Outside, his phone rings. Mark. Sir. Mark says. Hale Capital just announced a partnership with Reed Studio. Keller's grip tightens on the steering wheel. Marcus Hale. Yes. Mark says. He is using Sienna's designs to undercut our fashion line. Keller closes his eyes. She is not just hurting me, she is winning. Within a week, Lockwood Fashion loses 3 major clients. Within 2, their stock dips. Then the regulators call. An anonymous tip suggests financial misconduct, old filings, tax issues, a whisper of money moved where it should not have gone. The board turns on Keller. They demand explanations. They demand a sacrifice. At a tense board meeting, the chairman says, step down temporarily. Let us stabilize the company. Keller laughs once. Temporarily means forever. Then save yourself. The chairman replies. Because we will not go down with you. Keller looks around the table. He built this empire. He thinks of Sienna's kitchen table. A boy coloring. A life that could have been his. He stands. Do what you want. He says. But do not pretend you are better than me. He leaves. Ella's name trends next. Screens play her tearful confession recorded in the hospital corridor. Someone leaked it. Sienna does not even need to deny it. The world believes it. Ella's family issues a statement. They call it harassment. They call it cruelty. No one cares. Sienna watches the news with Elias late at night. Lucas sleeps in the next room. Elias sets down a glass of water. Are you okay? Sienna keeps her eyes on the screen. Keller stands in front of a courthouse surrounded by cameras. His face is pale. I am not okay, Sienna says. But I am not scared anymore. Elias nods. Good. Sienna whispers. He is still dangerous. Elias smiles, thin. Not to you. Not now. The spotlight is a cage. Sienna breathes out. For the first time, she feels the air go deeper into her lungs. The next day, Keller is served with a notice. Federal investigation. Asset freezes. A pending hearing. He sits in his office, alone. He opens a drawer and finds a photo. Sienna, 5 years ago, laughing at a street fair. Keller is beside her, smiling like he has never smiled again. He stares until his eyes burn. Then he picks up his phone. He types Sienna's number. His finger hovers. He deletes it. Because even now, he knows. He is not calling for her. He is calling to take. And she will not let him. The collapse comes fast. When power cracks, everyone rushes to kick it. Lockwood Group loses funding lines. A partner sues. A whistleblower appears. Keller is arrested for financial crimes. Not in a dramatic raid. In a quiet hallway, hands cuffed, face blank. The footage plays everywhere. Sienna does not watch it twice. Once is enough. Months later, Sienna sits in a sunlit studio in Soho. New sketches cover the walls. Orders stack on tables. Lucas runs in after school and drops his backpack. Mom, I got an A. Sienna laughs. Of course you did. He beams. Elias said we can get pizza tonight. Elias says a lot of good things. Sienna answers. Elias arrives an hour later with 3 boxes. I bring offerings. He announces. Lucas cheers. Sienna watches them. She feels something inside her soften. Not weakness. Relief. After dinner, Lucas falls asleep on the couch, pizza sauce on his chin. Elias carries him gently to bed. In the hallway, Elias pauses. He is a good kid. He is everything. Sienna says. Elias turns to her. His voice is quiet. Sienna, I know you have walls. I do not want to climb them with force. Sienna studies him. That is not your style. No. Elias says. I want to stand outside them and wait until you open the gate. Sienna's throat tightens. She thinks of Keller kicking in a door. She thinks of guards grabbing her arms. Then she looks at Elias. His hands are empty. His eyes hold no demand. Why? She asks. Why would you wait? Elias smiles. Because you are worth the time. Sienna exhales. She feels something warm, unfamiliar. I am scared. She admits. So am I. Elias says. But I would rather be scared with you than safe without you. Sienna laughs softly. That is a terrible line. It is honest. Elias replies. Sienna leans her shoulder against the wall. I do not want a man to replace Lucas's father. Elias nods. I do not want to replace anyone. I want to be here. Silence stretches. Not heavy, just real. Sienna finally says. Take me to Florence. Elias blinks. What? You promised me a vacation 5 years ago. She says. We never went. Elias smiles, bright. Then we go. In spring, the 3 of them walk through Florence under warm sun. Lucas runs ahead, counting bridges. Sienna stands on a stone street and feels her chest fill. This is what freedom tastes like. Elias buys gelato. Lucas smears chocolate on his nose. Sienna laughs until her eyes water. One afternoon, they sit on a terrace. Lucas draws on a napkin. Elias watches Sienna. Can I ask you something? Sienna nods. One thing. Elias takes a slow breath. If Keller had never come back, would you have stayed hidden forever? Sienna thinks. She looks at Lucas. She looks at the sky. I do not know. She admits. But he did come back. Elias's eyes soften. And you did not break. Sienna shakes her head. I did break. I just did not stay broken. That night, after Lucas sleeps, Elias walks with Sienna along the river. Lights shimmer on water. Elias stops. Sienna. She looks at him. I love you. Elias says. Not because you are strong. Because you are you. Sienna's breath catches. For a second, fear rises. Then she remembers. A door can be broken. But it can also be rebuilt. She reaches for his hand. Then love me gently. She says. Elias's thumb brushes her knuckles. Always. Back in New York, Keller sits in a federal prison. The walls are gray. The air smells like bleach. He receives one letter. No return address. He opens it with shaking hands. It is a photo. Lucas on a bridge in Florence. Sienna beside him, smiling. Elias in the background, laughing. No message. No words. Just proof that life went on without him. Keller presses the photo to his chest. His eyes burn. In the end, the punishment is not the cell. It is knowing the world he could have had. And knowing he destroyed it. Sienna stands in sunlight. Lucas holds her hand. Elias walks beside them. She does not look back. She does not need to.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.